I wonder, like, I'm gonna do a podcast, but what is the first episode of the podcast supposed to look like? So if you're coming for something, well structured, profound, polished, this might not be the place for you, to be honest with you. This is episode 1 of Subject to Change. Nothing remains the same except everything's subject to change, and I'm your host, Dane. So, first things first, Drake loses his lawsuit to UMG. I don't think anybody's surprised by this. I'm not. Like, it seemed frivolous. The thing I liked about it, though, in the start was that it addressed something that I think hinders a lot of smaller artists, which is these big major labels that have stake in these different companies. They all play together, and it creates this press the button, attitude or mentality where you can press the button and you can put a lot of promotion or spins on this song and get it up in front of people. And we know as you hear the same thing over and over everywhere, your mind just starts to think you like it because you're adapting to it, right? Like you're just hearing it. It's like if you feel a knee pain every day, the pain hasn't gone away, but you notice the pain a little bit less. The pain is there, right? But your body adapts to it and it says, okay, well, this knee pain is this knee pain. It's here every day. We got to keep going, right? And that's kind of what your mind does when it's put around this like music that you hear and you're like, oh, this is the same song. I don't really like this song, but I hear this song and I hear this song and I hear this song. You know what? That's a catchy hook. I could sing that song. And it kind of becomes that cycle. So I think that when you have the ability to push a button with unlimited resources because you may have stakes somewhere else or you have brokered deals that make that possible, it's harder for the truly exceptional smaller artists, right? Like you can be truly exceptional and still never make it. And then you can be truly exceptional and say, you know what, I don't want to go with the label, and you can make it, right? Like there's two ways to go, but what's probable and what's easier is the thing, right? And everybody wants to tell you, well, you got to go the hard way. You got to go the hard way. Well, not everybody is in a position where they can go the hard way, right? Like not everybody's in a position where their family can survive them going the hard way. They want to go the hard way, right? We want to all work the hard way. Well, not the hard way, but maybe the smart way, which sometimes involves the hard way. But let's get back to topic, right? Like he lost. It would have been great for him to win if that win would have spoken up for those people and made it a more even playing field. But honestly, it'll never be an even playing field, and it just is what it is, right? Also, I don't think it was motivated by that, right? Like everything I just said is a conversation about the business and precedents it would set if he won. But his motivations don't seem like they were based on that, right? Because if that were the case, he wouldn't have been a part of it, right? Or he would have stepped up while he was benefiting from it and said, hey, I'm benefiting from it and I wish everybody could, right? That didn't happen. So it is what it is. Gotta move on. And I think that Drake, some of the moves he's made since things have happened make him look away in the light. They've separated him from the culture, and I just wonder what culture that is, though. Sometimes he's Canadian. Is that the culture? Is he disconnected from hip hop culture, though? I guess that's the question that always comes to mind to me, because I don't feel like he's not part of that culture. He's not part of Black American culture, which hip hop is very prevalent in and is a mainstay, I think, in most African American or Black American experiences, right? So in a sense, he's not part of that culture, but to say he's not hip hop culture, because that's what people are doing, right? Like I think that Kendrick was saying one thing and then we're making it this other thing, the internet, as in we or we're, not me. And we got to separate that. No, he is not a part of Black American culture, but he is a part of hip hop culture, and he has propelled hip hop culture. So I don't know. Be careful with the conversation, because sometimes you could lose the plot. In other news that is kind of related to Drake, Melyssa Ford leaves the JBP, the Joe Budden podcast. I'm very invested in this one because I watched the podcast all the time. So there's not been official word though. So she took JBP out of her bio on things, and there seems to be like little subliminal shots, but the subliminals are like, you don't know, and no one's officially said anything, and I think that that's really weird. I only think it's weird because if you're a true fan of the podcast, even if you're not, you kind of have some investment in the characters, right? Like, these are real people, but who they show up as on the podcast, I don't think that they are in their everyday lives. So you get invested in these characters at least. And it would be nice, right? Like with any show, that you give your character a farewell. And if that is her leaving, then like just let us know. Say it's official, whatever the case may be. Now, if there's lawsuit stuff involved, hey man, don't let me jam you up and tell you to make no official statements now, cause I'm not trying to jam up nobody. Cause if they subpoena me, I don't know nothing at all. So Mona's there now, like at least once a week. And Mona is from the podcast Don't Call Me White Girl. She's funny, like, and I don't mean to belittle her or belittle Flip with this, because people might take it however they take it, but she reminds me of a woman, Flip, right? And I'm one of the people that do mess with Flip. I mean, he gets on my nerves every once in a while, but I actually think that Flip is entertaining, and I think that a lot of times when he's not COEing, he's being pretty genuine, and I think the same thing of her. And that's kind of where that comes in, the woman Flip, because she's being genuine. She is funny. She's a little hood. And it's a big contrast to Melyssa Ford. And I think it's a good contrast, and I would have liked to see it together, because I don't think Mona replaces Mel. She just adds another element that Mel didn't have, and that's what a co-host should do. Right, like when Mark came, it was the same thing. Mark was a challenge to Ish, who is smart, but he's street smart, right? But he is well educated in the sense that like he reads books. I know he went to college, but Mark, I do think, is in a different type of education, a different type of smart, a different type of intelligent that serves as a challenge to him, but also as a grounding to everything. And he's also super feisty. Mark is a feisty dude. Or not feisty, I won't call him feisty, like he's not like a masculine, but he's shady. He says shady stuff, and it's funny, and Ish doesn't do that, right? So that's a good addition to a Ish like person, right? So that's what I mean with the Mona and the Flip. No disrespect to them, like I said, I mess with them both, but yeah, like just tell us Mel is gone. If she's not gone, then she's not gone, and it is what it is. We just need to stop assuming. Maybe we just need to shut up. But y'all be teasing. That's the thing. Y'all be you know what? Next subject. So Bad Bunny is doing the Super Bowl, and for one, I'm here for it. And I don't want to speak for all black people, but we really don't care. We support it, actually. We support it, and my boy said, "Hey man, I ain't singing nothing in English. You're going to have to learn Spanish. Go and learn Spanish. You got 4 months. Go do that." And I think black people, we here for it because we're going to rock with it either way. It's music. Like black people music is in us. It's a part of us. So you could throw on whatever you want. We're going to find our body finds the tempo. Like, do you understand that? It doesn't matter what you throw on for black people. Our bodies will find the tempo. And we'll rock with it. So it really don't matter to us. But I think the racists are the people that are mad. Like right? The nation is divided right now because of things that are going on that we'll get to later. But that's all it really is, right? It's like, it's just racist people saying, we don't, why this person? Well, who you gonna get? Like, let's be honest, the people with the biggest draw, I think the biggest streamers are Taylor Swift, Bad Bunny, and Drake probably. I don't know that. I didn't fact check it, but I think that's always been like the top 3 for a while. So Taylor Swift, maybe she'll do it. We know Drake's not doing it. Bad Bunny's going to get so much draw and so many eyes that aren't necessarily always on football, because the people who he's going to bring, football to them don't got nothing to do with throwing a ball and catching it. So now you're gonna get those eyes that at least want to support in that way, and I think it's gonna be one of the most streamed Super Bowls because you know what? The people that don't like it, the haters, the MAGAs or whoever, the racists, the xenophobics, whatever they are, right? They're gonna hate watch. They're gonna hate watch it. You know how much stuff I go and hate watch and people I don't like, and I just go watch it and I'm like, ugh, this person gets on my nerves, but there's something that I like about hate watching. They're gonna hate watch. So we're gonna get all of those eyes. And I'm here for it. I'm here for him breaking records. I hope it does. So that's what it is. Then you got I think they said, Turning Point USA, which is like Charlie Kirk's company or whatever he's affiliated with. They're gonna do a halftime show for Americans, I guess. Americans, whatever. Nobody's gonna watch it. They're gonna fake the numbers. Nobody's gonna watch it because they're gonna all be hate watching the Super Bowl performance with Bad Bunny. Whatever. I'm done. I listened to Taylor Swift's album. She's next on the docket here. And I do want to preface this by just saying, like, this is the first Taylor Swift album that I've ever listened to front to back, right? Like, I've heard her music. I don't live under a rock. She's one of the biggest stream artists, but I've never listened to a full album. I think this one's called The Life of a Showgirl. Concept is cool. I did speak to people who are fans of her and said, like, this is not her greatest work for you to start at, right? Like, they're like, you could have started somewhere else, right? But that's okay. Like, I'm not judging it based on that. Obviously, I'm just listening to the music. I just like music. So, I'm getting into it, and I have notes on this one, so I might look down every once in a while here. I like the album, number one. Let me start there. I like the album. I mess with the concept of the album. I think it was cool. Like, it has a sound apparently that's maybe different from her other sounds. Like I said, I'm not here to judge based on her old work because I don't know her old work. So I'm just telling you, as somebody who just listened to her, how I feel about it. I think it was cool. And I have some notes here about different songs, standout songs. One of the things that I just thought, and it was my expectation that was wrong here. Like, I set an expectation for her and made it unfair because I thought, just because she's one of the biggest, artists, I thought that her vocal range or her skill there was greater, right? Like, I thought I was walking into, right, like, I don't want to put like a crazy name on there, but like, I thought I was walking into the vocal range of maybe like a Ariana Grande type of thing, right? Which it's not necessarily that, and that's fine. Like, she has a real knack for writing. I like the writing on this, and like I said, people who are fans of her said, like, if you like the writing on this, then you need to listen to like Folklore and like another album. I forgot the name of it, but like, if you think that writing is good, this is the writing that's good, right? And I thought the writing was pretty good. She has a knack for writing the songs that she can sing, which, but not everybody can, right? And there are some opportunities as I listen to her music, and I listened to the album maybe 2-3 times. I'm pretty sure it's 3. And as I'm going through the songs, I'm just hearing this, like, sometimes my ear wants her to complete something, like complete the rhythm in a way that it never gets to. And I think it has something to do with her vocal range and the way she writes. So a lot of the times when my ear is expecting her to go a certain place, and it's not about being predictable, right? Like, it's about completing the loop of the sound and where the note maybe is supposed to go. She'll go down, right? Because maybe she can't go too many places from it because of her range. So she'll finish it, and I'm not a singer, by the way. I try to sing sometimes, but I'm not a singer. So I'm going to attempt to give examples maybe. But like, when she writes, she'll be like, your girlfriend is a boss. And she'll just go down and make it flat, right? And I think it's a stylistic choice, number one, right? Like we hear that throughout music, right? That drop, that flat note that just drops off. But she does it so often that I'm like, okay, is this a stylistic choice, or is this a writing around what is manageable to your voice type of thing? Aside from that, I don't know how to say it, but like vibrato, whatever it's called, she has almost none of that. Like, or at least in this album, she's not showcasing that. And that's another thing that I feel like affects her ability to do, runs or make the ends of notes excitable for you, that like get you like, oh, like I want to hear what's about to be, she's about to give us a run. And instead of a run, it'll be like a 2-note drop, because Again, I'm saying, like, I don't know if it's a stylistic choice or it's a vocal range choice where the note will only go two places, so it might go dun dun or dun dun dun, but it'll never go like like it just doesn't jump up and down. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well there, but what I will say is that she writes these hooks, and she writes the ending of her bars in a way that separates it and still makes it something that you can get on board with, right? Like in simple things, just stuff that we use in hip hop too, where like at the end of the bar I might say the bat and the cat and it's all rat, and then there's like a hook behind it, like a not a hook but a chorus behind it, or something that makes it sound different on that last word, just like an ad lib to make it stand out. So I like that. But at the same time, I just think my ear was expecting more. And like I said, I don't know if it's a stylistic choice or not. But the writing makes you want to sing along too. That's one thing I noticed. The hooks, the way they're written, the arrangement, it's almost like it's written for people who can't sing to sing. And that's not a shot at her, right? Like, because she can sing. What she can do, she does. What she can do, she does. Right? But I just feel like it's written in a way that we can all just like be a part of this and sing with this. So I thought that was dope, because like if I'm listening to Usher, or Chris Brown, I know I can't do what Usher and Chris Brown do. And I'm not saying I can do what she can do, but like I know I'm not fitting to do this Usher run on Burn when he like I know I can't. I'm not gonna be able to do that. So I know when I'm in the car making the ugly face doing it, I sound like roadkill, and it is what it is. But I don't necessarily feel that way when listening to her. But let's get into some songs. So the opening song, Fate of Ophelia, I always talk about intro songs because I think that they set the tone. I do think it set the tone. I do think it set it breathes in the world of her concept of the life of a showgirl. I think the song was bland though. I'll go next to my least favorite song, Ruin the Friendship. I don't like that song. It's the sound of it is just annoying. It has that writing on it that I was talking about with the drop in it when it's dun, 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 and it just kind of falls off. But just in general, I just don't like the song. I don't like the sound of it. Whatever. One of the songs I do like, Actually Romantic. I love this song. I love this song because it's spicy. It's basically her talking about how people dissing her and talking about her is actually romantic. It's almost like you're flirting with me when you talk trash about me. Yeah, you talking dirty to me. Yeah, and I liked it. Like she just had that like that rich white girl swag, like almost like a mean girl vibe, but it's not a mean girl vibe because you're attacking her, and she's just saying, yo, I'm on your mind, yo. You might be flirting with me, dog. Are you flirting with me, dog? I like that. I like that. I thought it was a fun vibe. I thought it was a fun song. The most commercial song is Wood. That's that pop, but it's funky. It's that pop, but it's funky, and I liked it, and I don't necessarily like what the song is about. If you go look what the song is about, I'm not singing along with that stuff. But the hook is so good, it makes you want to sing along. It's just got that it's got that empowering feel. Like it makes you want to sing with it. So I kudos to that song. Like I do think that's the most commercial song on it, other than my favorite song, which I'm saving till the end. But the hook is fire. It just makes you want to sing along. And then, you know, other than that, the standout song to me, what I think is the best song, and it may be my hip hop ear, it's Elizabeth Taylor. I think that conceptually it is, I mean, there's a song that's called Life of a Showgirl at the end, but I think conceptually is Elizabeth Taylor kind of like brings and molds this theme into there, but it's also super catchy, but it's also got like this hip hop bop that I can listen to. It's also written in an infinite hook. And what I mean by an infinite hook, just go listen to it. It's one of those hooks that you can copy and paste that hook ongoing forever and just have a singer do ad libs and runs all over it, and you can keep that joint going for 16 bars if you wanted to. You could do a whole verse of the hook. It's just like what I call an infinite hook. It's just really good. It set the vibe. It had the tone. It just had all the things I like. It even had like a like, and I don't mean like an EDM. I just mean like it was hitting you. The rhythm of it just hits you and hits you. So, you know, kudos to that. I think the album was good. Like I said, I probably will go back and listen to like Folklore or something else when I have some time, because like I said, I think the writing was good. I just think that some of the melodies are incomplete for me, and I think that might be a stylistic choice, or it may be a vocal choice. Next on the list, we got Mobb Deep, Infinite, album released on Mass Appeal, which is Nas's label. I didn't get to listen to it yet. It just came out yesterday. I just listened to a few songs, but not enough to really come on here and like give my thoughts about it. What I will say though, that Clips, Mobb Deep, let me see what that joint is called. I'm gonna see what it's called because I think it's worth just mentioning it. Look at Me, Mobb Deep and Clips. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's a good track. Clips is continuing their run. I already think Clips got probably album of the year, but we're not talking about that. Mobb Deep, go listen to it. I'm gonna listen to it for the rest of the weekend. Probably come back next week and give my thoughts on it. But like I said, Look at Me is a very hard track. It is something worth listening. It's got one of those hooks that's just like, this is not an infinite hook, what I would call an infinite hook, no pun intended, because the album's called Infinite, but it is one of those hooks that it just comes in hard. You can listen to it, pause. It's really good. So check out the Mobb Deep album. Tell me what you think before I even listen to it. Next in, I guess, media and entertainment, Task, the show Task, Mark Ruffalo. There's a couple faces you might know on there. Blame the Head, Not the Heart, because I don't know all their names. I know one of them is the brother from Ozark, the one that was kind of like, a little crazy. And he is one of the main characters. Mark Ruffalo is one of the main characters. You even got the I think the Knight from House of the Dragons. You'll know. Check it out. It's a nice cast. It's good acting. This is a spoiler alert though, because we're about to talk about episode 5 of Task. So with these shows, these like shows where you got like a dude that does something, makes a bad decision, or is put into a world where he doesn't necessarily want to be, but he's doing what he can to support his family. You always have that dude, and then you probably have a gang on the other side, and then you got like the cops, the FBI, whoever's hunting all of this stuff going on, right? And with these shows or movies that are set up like this, you always wait for the bad guy, right? That guy that's stuck in the middle to come face to face with the guy who's hunting him, the FBI, the cop, whatever, right? And I think a big part of these shows is built on how this interaction goes, right? It's like, it's not the climax, but we're heading to a climax, and this is a big payoff though, where this is about to go. And I think that with Robbie and Mark Ruffalo, I don't know his name in the show, but the cop, Mark Ruffalo, it paid off. When we finally get them together, from the moment that they're together, when he shows up to the house needing to pee, I even think like this is how good I think the writing is on here, that it's such little things. And maybe I'm overanalyzing this, and you can let me know if I'm overanalyzing this, but they go in the house, he acts like he needs to pee, Mark Ruffalo, to Robbie. He sees a Pepsi can, right? So he takes the Pepsi can, pretends he's peeing with the Pepsi can while he's texting to let people know, where he's at, right? And he's pouring out the can little by little, right? Little drops, right? And to anybody else, I think we would think, oh, this is an old dude. He probably has prostate issues, so he has to like squeeze out his pee. He's got the drip, right? I think that's what Mark Ruffalo was doing as the cop, right? Like trying to make him think that, which is believable, right? This is a smart play. It also extends your time, right? So you don't have to pour the can straight out. But I think that Robbie's character, and this is the writing that I'm talking about, that even the little things, I think Robbie's character is so potentially uneducated that he don't know nothing about no prostate and what that might be doing to your pee. He don't know nothing about that. So when he gets out the bathroom, he grabs him like, yo, don't nobody pee like that, right? Like, so it's like, yo, the thing that you thought was throwing him off is actually what made you suspicious, because he doesn't have that knowledge anyways to think about that. So throws him in the car. They finally get together. I'm not going to say too much, because even though I said spoiler alert, like, you should just watch the scene, but it's so good how they interact with each other, and this slow forming of, I don't want to say a bond, but there's respect. There's a lot of respect, and you can tell Robbie respects him for how he handles Mark Ruffalo. And even backwards, right? Like there's this mutual respect, this mutual like, hey, like I could tell you're not a bad guy. I don't know what's going on here, but I could tell you're not a bad guy. But it's also this survival instinct for Robbie that's like, yo, I'm not a bad guy, but you're thinking that I'm a guy that's so nice that I won't do what I have to do right now. And I'm telling you, if it comes to it, I'm going to do what I got to do. So it was just a really good episode. Go check that out. Oh man, so now we've accidentally, it's not an accident, it's definitely intentional, but we've fallen into the back half here, and this is where we're going to get into a little. I don't follow politics, number one, right? Like I don't really want to. It's kind of, I've been forced in the group chat about politics, right? So to the point where it's like I have to look at it and I have to break down what is happening, because that's just how my mind works, where usually I just try and like but when it comes right here and you can't do nothing but see it, you got to think about it. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is podcasters are backing away from Trump after they've profited, right? I think that this is some of the most cowardice, nasty stuff that we've seen on the internet. The people that play both sides. And I understand playing both sides sometimes, right? Like there's not always a wrong person. Everything has its circumstances and everything's a different scenario and things need to be weighed out. But the way that these podcasters were carrying themselves as if they were not supporting Trump, but just giving him a platform, a fair platform for democracy. And now, right, like there's influence, there's dog whistling, there is subliminal messages. There are things that you can do to support something without supporting it outwardly, or outwardly saying, hey, like go this way, that still count. And seeing the way that these podcasters who gave that platform, but also put that influence of it's not so bad. I mean, look at the other side, and the way that we've seen what Trump has done, and the way that they're now backing off of it and kind of turning to Trump. They're doing the same thing they did to support Trump to now not support him, which is not directly say we condemn it, but the influence, right? The words, the tone, the talk, the aim of the conversations, that subliminal stuff that I'm talking about is now in the opposition. Like, I didn't know that this was going to happen, and blah, 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 this and that, and now trying to play this like pseudo intelligent role in dissecting what is happening, when that was very clear from before when he got into office, and you platformed it as democracy. And it may well be, right? Like everybody deserves a fair shot, but the way that you platformed it and the way that you talked about it and what you talked about more often amplified it. And now that you're trying to back off, you look like cowards to me. Moving on, though. The government shut down. I'm not going to talk about this much because, like I said, I don't follow politics on that level. But what I will say is that the people, us, we have been so radicalized and politicized that we're not even thinking straight about nothing no more. We don't even know what our morals look like no more, because we've been so politicized that we think that our morals are tied to these political parties, and they're not. Our morals are our morals. They're our grounders. They're our compass. Our morals have nothing to do with politics. The problem with politics is it takes your plight. It takes whatever this person wants and this person wants and this person wants and this person wants, and it advertises it like I'm running for that, right? So then you start to think, well, no, my moral compass is led by this, and these are the problems in my community. And if these people are saying they're going to help out with my problems, then my moral compass aligns with them. But it don't. It don't when you just point on a motherfucking scoreboard. That's what we are. That's what these percentages of black people that go to the Democratic Party and these percentages of Christians that go to the Republican Party, your points on a scoreboard, and they're making you feel like you're something. They're making you feel like you're being fought for, but you're not. So then when you start to lose your morals and you don't see these things going on and you don't call them out and you don't feel a way about them, or you feel justified with the wrongdoing of one party because they say that they're going to take care of this other thing that you care about, but then you don't condemn those other actions, your moral compass is now led by your politics. And those things are not the same, because politics is corrupt. We all know politics is corrupt to some level, right? Even if you're saying the opposing side. So if you're a Republican and you're saying Democrats are corrupt, it's shown in the system. It's built in when they're the presidents and when they're in Congress, or when they have control of the House, or when they have control of this, it's corrupt. And if you're a Democrat and you're saying to the Republicans, same thing, they're corrupt, then you know corruption exists and it's built and it's integrated in this system. So why are you aligning your morals by that? Are you saying you're corrupt? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm gonna move on because I'm gonna get crazy. The Chicago, and damn, like this is like, again, it's the morals, the Chicago raids. So again, I don't have a lot to say here, because like I feel like the moral compass should be telling you right from wrong when you hear these situations. I don't know about you, but when I get woken up out of my sleep and I'm incoherent, and let's say that somebody with a gun wakes me up and pulls me out of my bed and I don't know who this person is, I'm probably going to bounce into a survival instinct. So who knows what I'm going to try and do to that person. And if that person happens to be a cop and now they shoot me, one side's going to say, well, he tried to attack a cop. Of course he's going to get shot. The cop gave him orders. And then the other side's going to say, well, he didn't know it was a cop. It was 1 a.m. He got dragged out of his bed. It was just lights in his face, lights and a gun. Right? And when people try and justify these things, I don't understand, because if it was you and this situation happened to you, which is not going to happen to you, because a lot of the people that are okay with this happen to be the people that are not going to be impacted by this. So it's just insane to me for us to feel this way about other humans seeing these situations and say, like, that's not that bad because they were going to get gang members. Okay, what about the people who are not gang members? What about the people that are vets? What about the children? What about the mothers, the women? Like, what about the people who have nothing to do with this thing? Is it okay to treat them like this? Is it okay if we said, okay, we got this list of all the racists that commit crimes and they live in these neighborhoods? So what we're going to do is go into these neighborhoods, and no matter if you're a racist that committed a crime or a racist that didn't commit a crime or just not racist at all, we're taking you out of your beds at 1 a.m. We're putting your faces on the ground. We're separating your children from you. But we were just here to get the racists. Don't you understand? We just want to get the criminals. We're sorry. We've returned you to your $1.2 million home. Go ahead. It's only been 5 hours. Your kids haven't seen you for 5 hours after waking up naked and dragged out their bed and zip tied together. But we were just trying to get the racists. Would that be cool to anybody? Like, I don't think that that's a cool way to go about getting racist. And I'm impacted by racists in this country, but I don't feel that way. Like, how is this okay to people? Your moral compass has got to be stronger. Stop letting politics politicize your moral compass. You are not a political party. You're a person. It's just, it's crazy, bro. And then the propaganda behind it. Boy, oh boy. Last thing I got on my docket. Damn, I feel like I just said too much. Like, last on the docket, bro. Trump does not win the Nobel Peace Prize. And if you've been listening to anything I just said for the last however many minutes it's been, you would know why. You wouldn't be surprised. He might be surprised, right? But like, it's always funny. I don't know if he's joking. In his first presidential term, he was so wild and so outlandish, but it was funny to me. At least I have a good sense of humor, right? Like, I know that he may not be a good person in this That's a whole nother layer, right? But like, he was funny, he was entertaining to me. This time he's not so funny, he's not so entertaining, not because it's impacting me, right? But because it seems too real. It seems like he believes that he should get the Nobel Peace Prize. The Peace Prize. While you're sending militarized units to different cities that are reminiscent of what a civil war will look like. Like, I think that people are confused about where we are in history. And a lot of people are like me that thought, like, this is funny until it's not funny. We're at a point in history where we're moving to, like, I think people think that a civil war looks like blood and guts everywhere, everybody dying, right? That's not what a civil war is going to look like in this day and age. A civil war is going to look like, in the beginning, what's happening. There's a thin line between when things snap and they go off the rails. It only takes one event to trigger something that makes everything go haywire, baby. So I just don't know what we're looking at. And why, like, I'm on TikTok and there's a lot of jokes and I love to laugh about this stuff. Like, you got to understand, I got jokes for this stuff that's happening. I think there is funny in it, right? Because anybody who has humor or is a comic can find funny in the most serious things. But this is like, bro, like, your man's asking for the Nobel Peace Prize while simultaneously using the U.S. military for U.S. citizens and then using propaganda. That's the part. That's the part that people, there's propaganda going on, right? Like, Portland's on fire. And then you got a frog getting pepper sprayed in a little air hole. It's enough to drive you crazy. If he wants the Nobel Peace Prize, he should go get it. And I support him going to get it. But how you're going to get it is being a pillar for peace and democracy, not just in your nation, but for the world. And I hope that Trump wins that award one day. Because I don't believe they're going to give it to somebody who's undeserving, which means that if he wins, he's deserving. So I hope that he wins that award. But right now, bro, right now, this stuff is crazy. Right now, we're sowing the seeds of war, divisiveness, syndication, negativity, racism. I don't know. I do not know. But what I do know is that nothing remains the same except that everything is subject to change. This is episode 1, and I'm your host, Dane. Peace.